how does a kid watching this, how do they get better? What do they do? Step one, is it money? Is it...
It's brother, it's your mind. It's like, how do you think about yourself?
Yeah.
Right? When you go and you eat McDonald's, do you eat McDonald's understanding that the reason you're eating McDonald's is because you've been conditioned to eat McDonald's like a peasant? Or do you understand and have enough self-worth, right, to be like, I'm not going to fill my body with shit? So what I've come to realize is a lot of people are forcing themselves to do good things. They're forcing themselves to get educated. They're forcing themselves to train. They're forcing themselves to go out and have conversations with people, or enjoy the sunlight, or exercise, or have a healthy routine, instead of becoming the type of individual that enjoys those things. And the way that you become the individual that actually enjoys these things that are healthy is by realizing that all of these things will lead you to making more money, that all these things will lead you to finding better relationships, to being more happy, to being a better rounded individual. So instead of forcing yourself to get educated, instead of forcing yourself to eat healthy, ask yourself, why is it that I don't enjoy these things?
Yeah.
And answering that question is the most important thing, because you need to address that. Like, you not exercising is like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
You're the problem.
Yeah. Like, what is wrong with you here that is telling you, nah?
Yeah, why am I not doing it?
And that's the question, is because if not, you're going to be the guy that's always fighting against your mind. You want your mind to be on your side.
I heard
but
you
you
say
need
this.
to train it.
You were saying that if you're not successful, you are the problem.
100%.
If you're a failure, you're the problem. So do you stick by that? Like, that's a...
I mean, the life that you have is the life that you chose.
That's deep. It is.
Like, you are today here right now, brother, because you said, I want to be here.
There's no other person that can do it.
Nobody. But the problem, you know what it is people are afraid of assuming responsibility for their actions. Successful people will tell you that they're self-made. Unsuccessful people won't. But they're both self-made.
You're right. People that fail because of themselves. Now, talking about that, you have a lot of great relationships with people, and one of them being Andrew Tate. Now, he recently got released, obviously. What do you think about that whole situation and what it says about the world we're in? Because obviously, guys, Andrew Tate, I know him, Luke knows him. The whole situation was kind of crazy. But just getting onto the whole, how life works. Any comments you want to make about that situation?
More dangerous than the philosophical cultural change and an ideology is teaching people how to think. Andrew and Tristan Tate aren't creating a cult. They are presenting real scenarios with real life consequences that are making people think about the actions of their life. And when you make people think, it's extremely dangerous. So I think that they were conned and they got put in there unfairly. So yeah, it's kind of screwed up situation.
And is this like it's dangerous for like governments, or
It's dangerous. It's dangerous because you need to be running a narrative in order for the world to flow. And if anybody is disrupting your narrative, you can't have that.
Yeah.
Remember, you're not talking about somebody that gets 50 million views. You're talking about somebody that gets billions and billions of views every single month consistently. So,
and he's changing the way people think.
He's not changing how people think. That's the big fallacy in this entire scenario. He's making people think. Most people don't think. What is happening right now is a trigger of conversation, of reality check. It's like, okay, this is the narrative, but here is another narrative that just has been introduced that you guys have not been exposed to. Let's see what it says. And a lot of people have been gravitating to this narrative, and this dominant narrative is opposed to this narrative, so therefore it attacks it. It's War 101.
And you think that's like the whole matrix system, breaking the matrix, and that to do that is it step one to get out the matrix is just think.
I mean, yeah, you have to use your head. You have to be able to pick up your, like I told you today, we were talking about the Great Wall of China and the discoveries and thoughts that I had when I was walking through the Wall of China.
I'll say that story. So Luke was recently in China, I guess, and you were at the Great Wall of China.
2019, yeah.
All right, 2019. And you said sometimes you have to use your own brain. So you're at the Great Wall of China and you realize that this wall, instead of it facing opposing to China, it was actually facing China.
Correct. So the defense mechanisms, instead of it being facing outside of China, which you're supposed to be guarding China, it was actually facing China as if China was attacking. And then you start doing some research and you start realizing that there was empires throughout those areas prior to the Chinese Empire that were known for their constructions and their buildings, and there's a potential theory as to the Great Wall of China actually belonging to ancient civilizations prior to that. But unless I had been there walking and been like, why is this pointing in the wrong direction?
Yeah.
I would have never actually gone out and evaluated that. So yeah, picking up your head, thinking and asking yourself, why do things work the way that they work?
And why is that?
Brother, people want to be told what to do. People love to be told what to do. You know why? Because when they're told what to do, they can no longer assume responsibility for the outcome. They'll be like, well, he told me what to do. It's his fault.
Yeah.
It's his fault. But when you have to assume responsibility for your thinking process, for your belief system, when something fails, you can't point at anybody except yourself. So people like to assume the thoughts and the systems and the beliefs of other people, because if those systems and thoughts and beliefs don't pan out, they can blame.
And you think that's like a problem, like we're in this whole, like, it's a system we put in schools. We got fear. We don't want to take accountability. Real